Now, a little confession here. Call me a silly old chump if you want, but I'm not really all that impressed by capital cities. And as a cook, I find it extremely hard to find a gastronomic thumbprint here. So I thought, to give you, the viewer, an impression of what the successful Spaniard would consume in the course of a normal working day, I'd run through the basic things, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Of course, fiestas are a bit different. And so, breakfast. Basically, there are two kinds of breakfast. There's the international hotel stuff, eggs fried at 4 o'clock in the morning and flabby bacon, or there's the real Spanish breakfast. A real Spanish breakfast can be something sweet, like churros, with hot coffee or hot chocolate, or, much more to my taste indeed, is the savoury breakfast. Fresh bread spread with garlic, olive oil and tomato and salt, and munched down with a refreshing glass of chilled red wine. No better way to start the day. Go back to work after this wonderful breakfast, tippity-tap-tap, plant a few trees or dig a few rows, sell a few hats, and then it's time for 11s. And 11s, well, after a hard morning in the office, they can be anything you fancy. Patatas bravas, potatoes in mayonnaise, calamares, some simple bread, some octopus, or, because I've had a very difficult morning, really bashing it out on the typewriter and the air conditioning went down, I'm going to have some little boccheronis, little fillets of fish marinated in olive oil and vinegar. Washed down with a refreshing glass of chilled vermouth. And you know, it's nearly lunchtime. No, this isn't exactly lunch quite yet, because you see, in Madrid and throughout Spain, just before lunch, they pop out for a little aperitif and a tapas. This is a changuru. It's come from the Basque country, and it's a wonderful, wonderful crab baked in tomato sauce. And a little bit of paella, which can come from Valencia, the Costa Blanca. And just to read an appetite up, little fresh prawn in vinaigrette. And because it now is almost lunchtime, and that's 1:45 in Spain, by the way, not 12 o'clock like it is in France, or 1 o'clock like it is in England, it's about 2 o'clock lunchtime. A little sip of chilled fino, a little drop of sherry to get the taste buds really going, because it's lunch. And then, of course, after lunch, there's not exactly more work, it's called a siesta. Salted pilchards, a gastronomic link that goes back possibly to the days of Yamada, when, of course, salting was one of the only ways of preserving food. But even 400 miles inland, you can find the freshest of fish landed overnight and loaded onto fast trains. It arrives at dawn, sparkly-eyed, silver of fin, and piping fresh. Here in Madrid, what is so exciting for me is that all the threads of Spanish gastronomy come to the centre of Spain, the heart of Spain. I could have had, for example, octopus Galician style, salt cod Biscayan style, fried fish assorted Andalusian style, marinated clams, I could have had tripes, or tripe, Madrid style. I could have had roast suckling pig, Segovia style. What I decided not to have, however, was the manitas de cordero con rapa y ostras, which is simply pig's trotters with oysters and monkfish. And I settled instead for a lobster. And quite wonderful it was too. I wouldn't, of course, eat vast amounts like this if I was at home, but the Spanish really do go for it in a major way. And there is talk, very silly talk, of doing away with the tradition of the siesta. Well, I think the siesta is a wonderful idea, one that the whole of the European community should embrace warmly. It makes me a much happier person dreaming of great dishes, of steaming paellas, hake in piquant sauce, clams in wine and parsley, the stuff dreams are made of. What a day it's been, my little gastronauts. My liver has been immersed in the real Spanish way of life, from the bread and olive oil at breakfast time, through to the tapas, through to the lunch, to the afternoon snooze, the tapas before dinner, and now dinner. A very simple, look up this, Clive, a very simple, crispy, crunchy roast suckling pig, and very delicious indeed it is. Now, you might think, I have a wonderful life. Well, of course I do. And it's great to visit capital cities, Paris, Madrid, doesn't matter where it is. But it isn't the place where you get the real inspiration from, because you never have enough time. You're a visiting gastronaut, flying in, dropping in, eating, and going away again. And although it's been a wonderful experience, I'm going to creep off somewhere into some sleepy, dusty Spanish village out there in the back of beyond and find a little place where I can create what I think, now that I've been in Madrid for a day, what I think Spain is all about.